back to the program, Jake Gyllenhaal. How are you?
I'm good.
Hello. It's nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too. Nice to be back.
It's nice to have you here. Just a couple...
Has the shape changed since I've been here? Was it rounder?
No, it was rounder, and we used to shoot on the other side of the room.
That's what it is.
But more people wanted to see you, Jake. That's
oh, wow, yeah. Except for those people.
Right. They said, who's coming in today? We said, Jake Gyllenhaal. They might put us in the back.
Put us behind him. We don't
care.
Yeah.
2 movies with Denis Villeneuve. That's pretty great.
Yes.
How did that whole thing happen?
I don't know. I think it was the universe in some strange way. He came to me with a script a couple years back, and we were both at interesting places in our lives. And he had written this manifesto at the beginning of this script about why he wanted to make this movie and what it was about to him. And he said it was a very strange script, but you know, please understand what it's about to me.
This is for Enemy?
This is for Enemy.
Yep.
And I read it, and I just loved the honesty that he wrote this sort of letter in and with. And I met with him, and from then on out, all these really strange things kept happening that just kept telling me that I needed to keep working with him. From the very first meeting, there was a woman across at the next table from us, and she turned to me. The movie Enemy is about a guy and his doppelganger, essentially his double, guy who looks exactly like him. And this woman turns to us at the table and she says, you know, my son looks exactly like you. Everybody says that. So can I show you a picture? And I was like, sure. And I obviously didn't think he looked anything like me, but Denis was like, my God, he looks exactly like you. And in that moment, I knew the universe was telling me that I should probably do this movie, because things like that don't happen. And it was like that from movie. Then we made another movie after Enemy. So.
What do you mean when you say you were in an interesting time in your life?
I think I was questioning all the same things that he wrote about in this letter, which was, this was a movie about identity. It was a movie about commitment to oneself, commitment ultimately to real intimacy in this character's life, be it family, romance, all those things. I just moved from Los Angeles to New York. I was trying to figure out what movies I wanted to make, what I wanted to do with my life, more importantly. And all of a sudden, this script came across, you know, my doorstep about this guy trying to figure out his place and what he wanted to do with his life. And, and I was like, this seems pretty easy. I can just live this and they can film it.
Right.
And no, and that
playing both sides.
Yeah, and see the movie and you'll think I'm insane. But,
yeah, well, listen, and we're not going to give away the ending, but I watched the film, and I'm just sitting there by myself watching it. Then this thing happens at the end, and my first reaction was, "Oh, you got to be kidding me! This is unbelievable." And so when I saw it, and some of my friends who've seen it since they didn't like the ending. I love the ending. Some of us love the ending.
Yeah.
When you walk into a movie where you know the ending is so strange, how do you feel about it?
I think it's great. Yeah. I mean, I want that as an audience member. Like I have arguments like this all the time with my friends who are like, you know, Denis, I was in Denis' next movie called Prisoners, and at the end of that movie, there's something that happens and it's very blunt too, and it really surprised people, and they wanted to see the person saved, and they wanted to see everybody hug, and they, you know, and I respected that, and I love being thrown off and I love asking questions when I walk out. I mean, I also love crying like a little baby too, and being held. But
I felt like that watching End of Watch on a plane. I felt like that, man. I was just like,
my God, I miss the end of every one of my movies. Yes. You're like, an A.
Yeah, I know. It's like,
really?
Jake, everything. Persia was okay. I didn't cry so much in that. But everything else was like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's nice. I like the journey of posing a question at the end of something, you know, and having experienced something where you know, there are answers along the way, but why does the ending always have to have an answer?
We built this life where we feel like we have to achieve things, but I don't even know what that means anymore. Isn't it just about interrelating with other people and just kind of being good?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to make a little cash.
Yes.
But yes.
How's it working out for you?
No, I mean, it's important to be able to support and to live a life where you can, you know, given the world and where it is today and so many people and where they are, I think, you know, those types of ideas are hard to grasp a lot because a lot of people are struggling to, you know, just survive in a lot of ways. So, but I think it is a lofty thought to be able to think about interconnectedness and to think about giving to other people and compassion, maybe, but I find that people who are most tried are usually the people who are thinking that way. But I think that is what is most important.
The idea of understanding yourself and even the idea of competing personalities, and it's all the stuff that you've done over the last little while is that same stuff. Right?
Totally. Well, I wrote this paper in college about that, and I didn't realize this, but I really feel like the power of movies is, and maybe it's why I like the idea of questions, because it just opens up more ideas, to, you know, more of the unknown. But like, I think that's the power of movies, is to transport. It's like our dreams. It's like, you know, when we're sitting alone in a dark room, we get to watch something and have an intimate connection with something and learn something. And
but for a guy who says he struggles with intimacy with people, strangers,
yes,
that's an interesting place for you to be the conduit for that.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, maybe I'm being crazy when I say this, but who doesn't struggle with intimacy in one way or another at different times? I think it's about showing your truth, your honesty to someone. I mean, when working with Denis, we say there's a no bullshit factor, you know, that we're not allowed to bullshit. And we constantly catch ourselves doing it with each other all the time when we're making a movie, these 2 movies we made, you know, using our normal tricks or whatever, and then we catch each other. And I think that's why we're inspired by one another, is because neither of us allows it.
Are you used to people catching you on stuff and saying, hey, don't do that with me? Because you know how it is when you become a star, people are weird around you.
Like everyone's like, totally, yes. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. You know, my mother always made me think like all of my ideas were extraordinary, which is a really big problem. Don't encourage that in your child. No, because everybody always talks about, like, thanks for my mom for always telling me my ideas were so great. It's like, some of your ideas really suck, so you should know that too. But no, yeah, I mean, I think I think people do tend to say yes a lot, you know?
For a lot of people, depending on where you grew up, you may not know that Jake's mom played a role in raising some of us as well in her own way. Take a look at this.
Will the chair stay under the boy?
No way.
Will he jump for joy? And what about Naomi?
That's amazing.
For the answer to these and other questions,
Did the mail come?
tune in tomorrow for Love of Chair.
Yes.
In case you're wondering, that was Morgan Freeman, not Jake's mom. Jake's mom was not Morgan Freeman, but Naomi's your mom.
Yes, Naomi's my mom. She was a producer on 3 to 1 Contact for, you know, Sesame Street and all those. Yeah, she was. That was one of her first big jobs.
So your mom, your father in the business, your sister, obviously, your brother-in-law, you, like, just being around these stories the whole time?
Yeah.
Was it expected of you at some point that you had to ask questions? You had to think of layers and stories and twists?
I guess so, yeah, somewhere, yes. I mean, my mom always said, and she still says to this day, if you want to know about anything, go to the children's section of the library, and it will explain to you very clearly what anything is about, you know?
Stick around more with Jake right after this. All right, coming up, the film of Jake's that he most likes to watch, even though he got into a bit of a fight on the set making it. That's next. We're back here with Jake Gyllenhaal. He's got this film called Enemy. So, as exciting as it is to go into a movie where you're asking questions and you have to kind of do what Denis Villeneuve wants and with the ending that it is, did you ever have moments where you're like, I just want to go do an easy one? Because Prisoners is brutal at times.
No, easy. Yeah, well, definitely, they're like brutal stories and very intense. Yeah, the answer to that is yes. I do like sometimes. But again, it's really hard for me to do it if I don't really believe in it or get to commit to it in some way that I know I got like a hook in it.
If you're flipping through the channels late at night, I'm assuming you have a bunch of movie channels, assuming you have cable, and you stumble on one of your films, which one is a surefire that you're going to stay and keep watching it?
Jerry Maguire. Raging Bull.
I mean, one that you're in, though.
Oh, that I'm in?
Yeah.
None of them.
I was like, you're not in Raging Bull.
I wouldn't watch that. I was like, yes, I am. And I'm amazing in it.
I don't think that's the truth.
You don't know the truth. Oh, A Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men, right?
One that I'm in that I would watch.
It's got to be one that you would stop and watch.
Yeah, like, well, it depends. If time goes by, like, if time has gone by, I'll definitely, like, Donnie Dark was definitely one probably that I would watch just because I've seen a couple clips recently of it and I've been like, whoa, that scene? What?
And your sister, right? That's fun.
Yeah, I love watching my sister. No, I'm kidding. That was a joke. But I do. And I like Jarhead. I think I really enjoy watching that. So.
Did you punch out or get punched out by Peter in Jarhead? Or was it another movie?
It wasn't a movie. It wasn't a movie, but
it didn't talk
he's my brother-in-law.
He's your brother-in-law.
Yeah. We got in a fight. Yeah, we got in a fight. He was dating my sister at the time, and we were making a movie together, which was really interesting. Yeah.
We get it right
so
there.
that's enough. Yeah, that's about it. And a lot of stuff was real that was going on between all of us. We were all living in this like really confined space together, and we weren't really in the military. You know, we were like a bunch of pussy actors. So like, you know, like like obviously egos got involved. Yeah. So we just you know we fought a little bit.
Do you? I've heard people say before in this chair that a great experience often doesn't mean a great movie, but sometimes the toughest experience means a great movie.
True.
You know, and I'm sure you've had both of those play out.
True. Yeah, there's no equation that ever comes out the way you think, you know.
But I read on Brokeback Mountain that it was just beautiful the whole way, in a sense.
Yeah, I guess. I mean...
No, I heard you say it was magical or something.
It was. I mean, it was a beautiful experience in that we were all together by ourselves in the middle of Alberta, you know, living in trailers and, you know, experiencing whatever we were experiencing all together. And there were a lot of amazing things that happened on that movie. You know, Heath and Michelle fell in love on that movie, and, you know, we were all very close, and there were a lot of wonderful people on it, and it was magical, yeah. It was very intimate. It was a surprise to all of us because of how intimate it was, you know, what it became and that everybody knows about it now. Because at the time, it was literally 40 people who knew about it, and that's all we thought anybody would know. We made this teeny little movie, you know, and we just thought it would be what it would be. You know, things work in the moment and then can die off, and then things cannot work in one moment and come to life. And if you have any wisdom whatsoever, you know to follow, you know, wherever there is great energy. And that's what I followed with Denis when we did Enemy. I went, this guy has great energy. We vibe on each other, and this, I gotta go with this. Like, I don't know what this movie's about, but I know this energy. Right. And I know this energy is success somewhere, creative success. And that's first and foremost to me. And that's what I follow now. And that energy drives a movie when you watch it as an audience. It's infectious. When you see that on the screen, and I see it all the time with people, you're infected by that energy. And that's what we want. I see it on your show, man. I see you on TV. I feel the same way. I want to watch you because you are, you know, what you have is positive and great, and I'm sure everybody else feels that way.
No,
you know
you're very
what
kind
I
to
mean?
say it. Thank you. Thank you. Stick around. I'm going to answer apology with Jake very quickly right after this. We're back here with Jake Gyllenhaal. Okay. Really quickly, it's anthropology time. Are you ready for this? All right. Do you think having your mom doing what she did for a living with the electric company stuff shaped any of her parenting decisions? And what I mean is, did you ever get punishments that felt like you were actually involved in a comedy sketch?
Oh, God. I think sometimes I felt like I wished Morgan Freeman was around more. Because he makes everything better, doesn't he?
Right?
He just really does. It's like when he's in a movie, you're like, it'll probably be good. And I like to listen to his voice regardless.
Yeah.
Even if the lines are
Yeah, he'll be good at it. Speaking of Morgan Freeman, if you were going to write a letter to him, that you were going to handwrite it, what would your opening sentence be?
Dear Morgan.
I don't think that counts.
Hey, man. What's going on?
What rule?
Remember when you saw me at a weird random event and you remembered my name and it totally freaked me out? That's what the first sentence would be.
Yeah, but were you Jake Gyllenhaal at the time, or were you a kid?
What's that mean? I've always been Jake Gyllenhaal. What are you
Yeah, but you were the Jake Gyllenhaal, but we knew you as
You're
Jake Gyllenhaal.
freaking me out right now.
But were you the Jake Gyllenhaal that had a movie at the time?
Yes, I had been in a movie. Why would I be with Morgan Freeman at an event?
But that's why he would remember your name.
Oh, right.
Because you're the guy in the movie.
Yeah, but not Morgan Freeman. Like,
Can we ever not lie?
no.
How about this one? And not in any book way, but legitimately a book you read that changed your life.
Well, there are a number of books that did. When I was a kid, this book, 9 Stories by J.D. Salinger, definitely. And then more recently, a book called The Known World.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Does posture play a role in dual characters?
Yes.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, as witnessed by if you see Enemy.
There's very clear posture.
Without a doubt. Well, also, size of clothing, like fitting of clothing, is
Makes
a
a
very
difference.
big difference in how people create. I think in general, how people create, actors create characters.
Enemy is really cool.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, it's really cool. And stay around for the ending, trust. And then ask your friends what they thought about it.
Yeah, so now you're trying to with your audience. Is that what you're trying to say? Awesome. That's
Jake
awesome.
Gyllenhaal, everybody. We'll be right back.